WhymsicalWyvern here. I stream weeknights on Twitch and I put my VODs on YouTube. I was going to do Minecraft tonight, but my wrist is killing me, so I'm not. I'll do that tomorrow. Sorry about it here. Did you hear about a scientist who was lab partners with a pot of boiling water? He had a very esteemed colleague. Wah, wah, wah. All right. Last time I came up with a faster way to do these. Maybe one down. And I know this is probably boring, but I wasn't really getting any answers, and I could always go back to the other game. Not a problem. We shall see what people say when they show up. And if they don't, well, this is chill and easy peasy. Yeah. My wrist is bothering me more than I thought at first. Anyway, I hope Why am I looking? Why is my body to the wrong direction? Crap. I forgot to do this. Why? You, go away for a second. There we go. Too much stuff going on. All fixed. Now I'm facing the... I give up. I give up. Apparently, my rig has a mind of its own. That's not scary. I hope everybody had a pretty good day. I hope this is more chill and nice than annoying and blah. Blah. Why would we do this? Blah. Apparently we're gonna do a commercial now. This will really help to see through this. That'll be nice. Oop, we missed a spot. I missed a spot. Okay, I must not have might have done that bit. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Maybe I didn't miss it completely. Anyway, I've had to mess with all the sound settings, though, as Hedge did. So I don't know if I got everything right. By all means, please say something if you show up and it's wrong. Yeah. It feels inefficient to make this so much bigger, but with this cross hatching and the fact that my mouse keeps jumping that little bit. It's making it a lot faster. Oops, there's something wrong. Yeah, let's fix that. Speaking of which, there we go. I honestly liked it at first when I was seeing it, but now it's looking so busy. I'm not. I knew I would like the look of the cross hatching, but it would be annoying. But I'm kind of feeling like with more of it, it's a little too busy. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Looks like we have our ad break in progress. We shall see how that goes. And hopefully it's done. And I'll have to back off and see where I missed stuff, because I'm trying to connect the picture to itself. I guess we'll do the people last. Who needs people? Especially flat-faced people, right? I mean, wow. Flat-faced people, who wants that? We'll create a new minority group. Flat-faced people. Unique to video games. People that make pancakes look fleshed out. Okay, so I'm hitting the end of a sidewalk portion. There we go. This part of the picture is so not exciting. Oops. I guess I'll finish off that color since it's still at top. Maybe I'm not quite where I thought. I'm a little confused by the green that's here. We'll check that out in a second. Maybe it's a green car, because this feels not like how the trees are. If so, I'll want to go finish filling in that car because it bugs me when something's not done. There's something really, really wrong with me, I think. Let's see. I'll come back and pick up those twos in a minute because there'll be more case in point. Not too bad. Wow. Yeah, that's a car. Let's finish this cross-hatching on the sidewalk and then I'll come back to the car. I know, it's riveting content. Woo! How do we not have 8,000 people watching this right now, right? It's almost as good as paint drying. Not quite. I mean, RT got the market on that, I know. But holy cow. Tapping number ones over and over and over again. Woo-wee! As content. Spicy, I know. I know, it's so spicy. Alright, that's just too much. Even for me. For my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. So sexy. It hurts. Oh my gosh, that was so dumb. It was so dumb it was funny. And not one person got my joke. Nobody knows about Ferris Bueller's Day Off anymore. I'm gonna cry. I feel old. Not really. It's fun, but I will confess, it's the last time I saw it, it was a little bit dated. But it was fun. It was a fun movie. That was the whole point. It wasn't supposed to be the classic that everybody comes to for the next 50 years. Not everything has to be a classic. All right. Sworn I saw. Yep, right there. More sidewalk hiding in here. Tomas, yo girl, how you doing? I'm fine. Audio majestic. Ah, thank you. You were listening. Perfection. I think. Oh, I missed a spot maybe. Oh, there's something weird going on here. What is this? Maybe it's supposed to be like a cape? Not gonna lie, this spot is confusing me a wee bit. Like blood? I don't know what to think. Oh wait, there might still be a little more sidewalk over here. Okay. I am doing all right. I'm glad that you're doing well, Tomas. Thank you for letting me know about the audio. Thank you for hanging out. I couldn't get a response on Discord, so I just did this. Oh, I see what happened. I didn't. Yeah, let's get these. Anyway, I have a duck on standby for Dwagon because apparently my content has been lacking in ducks and that needs to be fixed, but he wants to watch me, so I'm not supposed to do it without him. But I probably am going to start another one in a second here. I just wanted to get this kind of fleshed out a little better with the sidewalks. Maybe do one car. Majestic is a very nice word. Ah. Presumably this is going to be the outline of a human, I'm thinking. Maybe with like little buns? Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, I see, because I haven't done... Got it. Oh my gosh, I've got all this to go. Ah! I think it's good enough for now. This car wants to be a car. Let's make it a car. It'll help everything look better. I think to have this corner a little more solid. And then I'll take a step back. Wait, I'm getting discords that just came through, but they say 16 minutes ago? Oh my gosh. Well, Nameless very sweetly answered, but it only just now showed up. Okay, forgive me. I'm sitting here going, nobody responded. Nameless did. Am I a good mom today? I hope so. I mean, I rushed home from work to take care of my dear, sweet baby Hedge. That's got to give me some kind of points, right? I mean, I was on my way anyway, but, you know. She just sounded so rough when she called. I felt so bad for her. So I'd like to think I'm a decent mom today. Have you been a decent son today, Tomas? Can Art not babysit? Hedge doesn't need to be babysat. And Art was here. She's 21, Tomas. She's okay. She just felt bad. And I felt bad that she felt bad. It's a normal thing. Or I just have no reasonable boundaries in my life and I have no concept of what's normal. And I'm a horrible human being. That is the other distinct possibility. My gosh, why does that keep doing that to me? Same. Same. Yeah, I mean, I think you're probably old enough to be on your own sometimes, Tomas. You even talked about going to the store on your own. Same. Hello. Yeah. Hi, Lost. How are you today? Why is the stream so quiet? Tomas just told me the sound was good. Hold on. Is that better? Maybe there? Maybe I just have my phone. I just have to put it right next to my ear, though, to hear you. Okay, hold on. I had to... Hedge made everything louder because she's losing her voice, so I had to quiet some things, but I had to guess at the levels. So, just... Here, let me play with it. Maybe it's just lost? Okay, I don't want to blast everyone to Kingdom Come either. Because the readout looks like it should be pretty good sound. But I did knock down the music sound on this too, so that could be part of the problem. I have to come back and pick up all those spots, but since I didn't finish all of the 3s anyway, that should not be a problem. Or maybe Hedge deafed me. It's just, I opened another stream. Yeah, you're just really quiet. Okay, hold on. I've raised up the sound on my microphone higher than normal. Whoops. It's not much of an issue though, I guess. No. I'm gonna address it. Just give me a second. I did lower the sound here for the music because it was driving me crazy. Is that helping? Or is it me that's quiet? So quiet. I wait till someone else is here and then we'll have 3 opinions. Alright, here, we'll go with like go about there. That's around where it was. I'll pop this up just a wee bit. And I'll make my mic just a little louder, but I don't know that I dare go louder than that without other feedback. Because I don't want people to come in and have their earphones like blasted to Kingdom Come either. I mean, it could be funny, I guess, but I think that would be pretty horrible that I did that. I don't want to do that to people. I was just referring to microphone audio, by the way. Okay. Okay. Well, then, I don't know other than... We've all been having allergies, so I could have my voice quieter than normal too. I feel like I'm yelling. We might be taking an involuntary break from streaming soon if something's going through the house. I don't think it is, but yeah. I don't know where it would have come from. The Sandhill Cranes? You think they're carrying something vicious around right now? The armadillos, the bunnies. The bubonic plague, I see. Yes. Anyways, are you like far away from the microphone or the gain is just really low? I am literally right next to the microphone. It is about 4 inches from my mouth. If that. I feel so bad because, like, Nameless, I sat there and started the stream and nobody responded to my Discord, so oh well. And then while I'm streaming, the Discord showed up from Nameless from before 6 o'clock. I kind of like this car. The reflections in it are kind of neat. Let's see. Oh well, I should not be stuck on this. No, I appreciate it though, because if you have an issue, I guarantee you someone else will. But I'm not sure if it needs to just reload maybe or something. Maybe the stream loaded badly, because Tomas should be having trouble too. I mean, not that I want him to, but it should be more consistently a problem. Alright, let's see. There's something going on here. Huh. Having trouble seeing what is happening here. Maybe it's clothes? Oh, it's probably like blue jeans for people or something. I was louder. As I check over last stream to see if I'm delusional, you were louder, but you're audible. Okay. I don't know. Like I said, Hedge messed with the sound to make it louder for her. So in theory, I shouldn't be having an issue. But sometimes reality does not match. Why didn't it switch? This will be one of those unique trees with blue leaves. Yes, that's what it will be. I'm going to do this piece of tree and then I'm going to walk away from this and go start a different one. I finished the ocean view. Okay. As I watch 2 ads in the row because I'm using speech to test and it bugs everything out. I am so sorry. As they say, when in doubt, maybe blame Hedge. I like that. I like that. Okay. Hedge's fault. Ah, poor baby. I knew you'd come running. Lost says, when in doubt, blame Hedge. For some reason, my sound is coming out really off, apparently. I even moved it up. You had it all the way up.
Well, I was only for a little bit. Yours should be different than mine.
I know.
I would move it up more.
How's that?
That should be fine. I think OBS is having an issue. It looks like you've got a bunch of. Actually,
Yeah.
go into your filters for me.
Where's my filter?
The dots. No, dots next to it.
These?
No. The dots next to the microphone. That. Filters.
It's just the CPU usage.
I don't know. I can make it louder though. I can add gain.
No, I think we're gonna have to. When in doubt, blame it. I think we need to. Shh. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I think you're right. I think it's OBS. Because I even turned everything else down. He said he went on to other streams and stuff and wasn't having an issue, but then Tomas is having no issue. And I know Twitch has been having server issues. So I've done as much as I'm doing tonight.
Why you play with me, Lost? We're gonna play video games tomorrow. What if I make you fail? Well, then I fail, so I won't. Darn. I'm too competitive.
Hedge likes to win.
It's a problem because my grandpa likes to win too. We were playing Scrabble together one time. Got very competitive.
Hey, you sound louder. I went back to the quietness of my room, though. That, and we messed with several more settings. We'll find out tomorrow if we blast you to Kingdom Come. It'll be awesome. You probably fixed it. Hopefully. Hopefully. Oh, she's like, what did I do? What did I do? All right. I don't know. Sometimes OBS is just weird. Let's be honest. Let's blame OBS. All right, so now I have a bunch more sidewalk done. Better outlines. And another big chunk of tree and another car. So let's see. Let's see how that goes. Wow. All right, it's starting to look like something. I'm not quite sure what. No, that's coming together. Yeah, it's weird. I really avoid trying to touch my microphone settings since it's really annoying if you ruin it because you need like 3 people to make sure it actually sounds proper. Oh, believe me. I try to never touch any settings, but sometimes they go wrong anyway. There's nothing I can do about it. It looks like the guy in blue purple car can't see for their lives. I know, right? It's like, I do not want to be driving on the road with that vehicle. Oh my gosh, that was zingy. That. Anyway, I'm wondering if it's because they made the wheels red that they made tinting on the cars, maybe pink? But it doesn't make any sense to me. The #1 G Fuel fan. Ew. What? I'll be honest, I'm not as fond of G Fuel as I used to be. I think they messed with their formula. I liked them a lot, like, say, 4 years ago. But I will tell you a secret. I have a friend who likes to give me drinks at work sometimes because I give her things, so she'll give me things. And because she knows I do streaming, she's been trying to get me cool streamer kind of cans. So when she found out that I had put some of the cans on Discord, she's like, oh, I'm on Discord? I said, yes, it's not that big a deal. She goes, oh my gosh, I'm on the Discord? I'm on the Discord? I said, yes. I don't even think she knows what a Discord is. But she was really sweet. So she goes, because it was a gamer can? I said, yes. So she brought me the Pac-Man can today. And she goes, do you think it's going to make it on the Discord? I said, I promise. It was so sweet. She's such a sweet lady. But, good friends, you know? But, she's not what we call a gamer. Mm. But she gave me the can with the Muhammad Ali on it too, because she's near a store that can get the goats, but I'm not. And I got her hooked on them when I could get them and she couldn't. So I can work on the tree more. It's coming together, but I really did want to start a different picture. So here is your ocean view. Gathering political favors, I see. I'm not sure what political favors that would gain me, but sure. Isn't that pretty? So that's the ocean view one with the dock and everything. I think it's a little sketch. I'm not sure I'd want to be a dock where the woods weren't pink. I don't know. They're just favors. All right. So I can do sunset at the lake, winter landscape, or go to a whole different thing. Yep, it is pretty. Yeah. You want the cupcake? You got it. Oh my gosh, this thing's huge. Lost, you you have a talent. I'm just gonna randomly start in the middle. Big cupcake for a big girl, you see. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I don't think I want to be big enough that this cupcake would be what it takes to fill me up, Lost. I don't think I ever want to be that big, but thank you for the thought. I give up. I'm just gonna kind of have general lines here. Start with this yellow color. Hi, Nameless. Hi, ma'am. Have you been? Also, hi, Lost. So enjoy your cupcake. Wait a minute. So you picked this massive cupcake for me to do, for you to watch as a gift for me. Interesting. Interesting. I think it's a bit big. All right. I guess we'll see scale in a minute. I'll get one of the colors done and we'll step back and see it. Nameless, you actually responded to my Discord and it showed up while I was streaming. So thank you. And that is why I didn't respond in any which way, shape, or form. It was so weird. I'm like, oh, people are finally Discording. Oh, they did like 15 minutes ago. Oopsie. Gotta love internet sometimes. Anyways, I must disappear. And also Nameless, what happened to sleeping? Oh, lost sleep can wait when Whimsy is streaming. Okay, there's actually quite a lot of this color. I'll go in and make it right later, but I don't know why there's quite so much. At the Hedge Discord, people replied 24 hours later. Well, in the end, you did what you wanted to do, so without knowing it, you followed my advice law after 5 business days. Well, it's not quite that. I wasn't hearing back, and I wasn't sure anybody was actually going to show up for the stream, so I was like, well, it's already set up for this, so I'll just do this because it's easier at this point. But, I mean, it's my own dummy fault, but I have a brace I'm supposed to be wearing right now, and I forgot it today, but I was like, oh, no big deal. It's not like anything hurts. And I got through most of the day just fine. And then all of a sudden, my whole hand just started to cramp up pretty badly. So I was like, well, maybe I needed that brace after all. The thing is, I needed my left hand to do Minecraft, but I can do this with just my right hand. So, yeah. I am so guilty of it stops hurting, so I forget to keep treating. Anyway, so Lost suggested I have to sleep, so I was just dropping by real quick. Have a great evening, ma'am, and take care. You too, sweetie pie. You guys have a good rest. Have a good evening. Bye-bye. I don't think he's actually going to sleep super quickly, so he could probably stick around. Except sometimes I make him start laughing and then he can't sleep. And he says he's going to wake up the people in his house. So if he sticks around, I have to be real careful not to be funny at all, no matter what, ever. Because that would be me. I feel like I hear the echoes of someone calling me. I need to go for like a minute. I won't fall asleep quickly, but I sure will go sleeping right away. Anyway, bye-bye, bye-bye. Bonne nuit, sleep well. Oyasumi nasai, and all of that. Alright, there should be another blotch, maybe, of 5s. Hiding, here we go. I don't know why I've just decided to do all these 5s, whatever. Pardon me. 126 left. There's gonna be like a weird another blotchy spot, I guess. That's a lot of pink too. Oh my gosh. Anyway, bye, bye-bye. Anyway, the problem has been solved. Okay. I'm glad that the problem has been solved. Nameless practicing to be the next Elon Musk. He's going to be all busy with 18,000 businesses, and we're all going to look at him and go, now I feel poor. He's so successful and awesome. We're so proud we knew him before he succeeded. I don't mean like I silenced him, by the way. I just helped. I was complimenting you. You're always talking about working on businesses and plans. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be a successful person, you know. We should all want to be successful on some level, I would think. I'm so poor. I feel you lost. I feel you. All right, well, for the life of me, I cannot figure out where that next patch of 5s is. So I'm probably just going to start on something different. Such is the life of a college student. Yep. It is not easy. Honestly, I look back sometimes and I'm like, how did I survive? I didn't sleep. It's amazing how much you get done when you have to. At least my pocket change in the stock market is doing well. Honestly, I'm going to probably be the same very semi-close future. What I did when I was in college, and I do not recommend this. I got a night job so that it wouldn't interfere with daytime classes. And that way I could have no restrictions on my daytime classes that interfered with my job. Then, because I was so stressed from doing school constantly, I couldn't sleep. So I got the brilliant idea that I would go with friends to the beach and sleep on the beach and make them guard my body so that nobody would mess with me. So I worked all night. I would wake up, go shower, go to classes. I've gained $200 from the stock market, so I must be doing something right. It sounds good, as long as you're aware it goes as quick as it comes. It's the balance of time that is where it happens, you know. Anyway, this was before sound machines and stuff, so I would literally just go lay a towel on the beach and sleep. And then go get cleaned up, go to work. Work, school, beach, school, work, whatever. You get the idea. I had neighbors that didn't think I lived there. I know. And I look back and I'm like, I was expected to retain information from that point in my life. I mean, I did great. I got good grades, but don't feel I learned as much as they're teaching you to be in a box more than they're teaching you. But if you want the degree, you got to learn to be in that box enough to get through. Learning to invest when you're young is smart, though. Don't worry, I put my money in World War III. Hey, learning how to be in a box teaches how to be in a different box, I guess. Well, my point is a lot of what they teach isn't really useful. It should be. For all that money and time and trouble, it should be a lot more useful. And then you'll get in the workplace and they don't want somebody who is stuck in that box. They want somebody who can actually do what they need. So, and yet you need that piece of paper to do certain things. So I feel for you is all I'm getting at. I'm going to set back in a second and see what this is looking like. Oh, I'm starting to see. Okay, so that's like layers. I don't know, this cupcake, I feel like would not be hard to resist eating. Anyways, I just wanted to say I have a 200% return on NVIDIA. I put $10 in there like ages ago. Awesome. Yeah, they were talking about, let's see, the chips in a recent press briefing, how they're going to be making the older kind of chips, but also, I guess, a new super chip. I think that was NVIDIA. It was interesting. We used to do all of our own chips here. I don't really understand how or why it changed. And it doesn't save us money anymore. It actually costs us more now. And we originally were the ones who developed all that tech. So it'll be nice to see some of that coming back to where we benefit from it again. Anyways, what I learned from the stock market is always follow your heart and never look at the stats, obviously. The main thing is it's really specialized in some places. I think here's how I've always been taught to look at it. It's gambling. Never risk more than you're willing to lose. So you put in a base amount, and as much as you can make it grow, great. Sometimes it's going to shrink. But then just be blessed with whatever you end up with at the end. And it makes it easier to make harder decisions. That's what I was taught, anyway. But if you start thinking of it every second, like you have to have that money, then it's going to be harder to make the right decisions in the right places. So you start, like you said, with pennies, and you grow them into dollars, and you grow those into $10, and you grow those into $100, and you grow those into $1,000. Oh yeah, it's gambling. Of course, that's how I think of it. Yeah, you got to. I know too many people who get in there and they take money they need. They don't know what they're doing. And then they're devastated when it doesn't work out. But they're always making the choices based on right this minute, not based on the future. And stocks, they're really a bet on the future, aren't they? I'm not particularly gifted at them, but I do understand conceptually how to go about that. I personally am not in a place in my life right now where I want to be gambling. So I have my investments. I have a family member that really is excellent at the stock market, and I was just like, you do your magic. I will be pleasantly surprised with whatever I have in the end, and you can't make me mad. Just don't show me the ups and downs. Where else am I going to get my gambling fix? But I just throw money in there when I feel like I have a bit extra. Absolutely. And the thing is, I do think guys are better at it than girls. I think there's a need for risk that doesn't come as naturally to most girls. I'm going to be really honest. Like, a lot of times girls can be better at household budget type stuff, but investment longer term, not always. And that's not always 100% true by any means. There's exceptions to every rule, and I have known many. But I do think that in general, gambling your future comes more naturally to guys somehow. That sounded really bad like that, but I meant it in a very positive way. I hope it made sense in a non-offensive way. It's I don't really care that much. It's the truth. I remember there was a stockbroker who somehow got billions of dollars, and his method was seeing visions of God. And then at some point he messed up, and then people start to notice, where did all the money go? And they just found out this little guy. Well, people are flawed, aren't they? I don't think I would trust somebody who said, trust me, I have visions of God. I think I could find a video about him. Hey, he was doing a really good job before. Well, I'm not saying it was bad, but I just don't know that I would trust him inherently. That's all. It's not just that. I would be giggling. I'd keep thinking of the Blues Brothers on a mission from God. I don't think I could invest money in it from that alone. And that does not mean that I would be correct. It just means, yeah. Hey, the stock market is also untrustworthy. Absolutely. I have trust issues, Lost. What can I say? Boy, this music does get so loud. Fixed. No, the stock market is untrustworthy, but I tell you what, if you can stick with it over the long term and not freak out and pull everything out every 6 months or something, you can do good. You can do good. Yeah, I have someone that I love in my life, a family member who has decided to get involved in the stock market, and they're constantly pulling things out and just losing money, and then they're mad and they're blaming outside forces, and I'm just like, you got to write it out. You cannot. Either you're in or you're out. This is like the best way to lose all your money. But people don't always listen to me. Always remember Isaac Newton's social failed with the stock market. To speech to text added social for some reason. Like I said, it's a personality thing as much as anything. Ooh, Saribot, thank you very much. Your service is greatly appreciated. Starting to look like something. I don't know. Would you eat this, Lost? I'm not a big cupcake person. I will eat them. Like when they're in front of me. But I don't typically go searching them out. I get the feeling Tomas likes cupcakes. I deeply suspect. Alright, I'm going to back off in a second and see what this is turning into. Oh my gosh. That. It's a bit massive. Okay, I found the direct quote from the guy. I try to invest according to the word of God and the Holy Spirit, my hero. It's been so long since I heard of the story. Like I said, I don't think there's a single thing wrong with trusting your gut and giving it a go. I did say that, but I would not trust someone else's gut. That's all. I am not a trusting person. This says nothing about the other person whatsoever. It says it about me. I'll look at it. Do you think I should put a pinned comment in each one to say what they are? Because I made the time to do the descriptions and then you guys said it's on the laptop and not on the phone. But then I'm getting questions about what things are. In the channels and stuff. I'm just asking as you're someone who's actually using it somewhat. I'm not sure if I made it too confusing and weird. I say don't bother the description unless you're doing it on YouTube. Yeah, I did the description in the Discord, but I don't bother with like the Twitch and stuff. I meant with the channels on Discord so that people would know what they were. But then I'm not sure there was any point because nobody looks. And it won't even show up for lots of people. I mean, that's part of it too. I don't have enough of an audience to care for descriptions. All I need is the title, no descriptions needed. Fair enough. I thought that game you sent me the picture of was really cute. And I saw that's what you were playing last night. And I was so gonna go to bed and watch your stream lost. I think my phone hit my face. I don't know. I fell asleep as soon as I laid down. I never even made it to your stream. I'm sorry. I was really interested in the game. don't have enough hours. I think Kitty is smart enough to figure out image postings and announcements in general. Don't worry about it. I'm mostly just chilling at this point. Yeah. I'm just... Because you did send me the video to show it to me, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting. I'd like to see more of that. And then you're playing it. I was like, perfect. Except I fell asleep. I'm not exactly... I know you didn't know I was going to do that, so it's not like I disappointed you. I just was more saying, you picked my interest. It looked interesting. I failed. It was a neat game. I don't know how I feel about... This does not look like a yummy cupcake. Like, what do they think? Blah. It's like an 80s yuppie cupcake, maybe. That most of the stream was me trying to make a charcoal pit to speed up my clay plot creation. Oh, so you have like a skill tree thing you have to do? I find those kinds of games interesting. I will do some on stream at some point, probably, but I will say trying to talk to chat and stuff and do something that requires a brain is definitely more challenging. But mostly it's... I need the computer to handle it too. Let's see. And then I started to go find copper at the very end of the stream and then fell into a cave and heard some creepy arse noises. And then I saw a giant dimensional portable that was spawning a bunch of enemies and I quit the game out of fear. Gave you the summary. Oh my gosh. I want to tell you I've never done anything like that. I can't. I remember one time I died in a spot that I was sure I shouldn't go to, and the girls talked me into it. This was on Bedrock on my phone. And I had this super done up trident, and I drowned. I was like, oh crap, I'm never gonna find my way back. I'm in this like death loop circle thing. And I was afraid to go back in, and they're like, Mom, it's just not a big deal. It's not a big deal. And I wouldn't play for days. So they went in, they're like, we're gonna save all your stuff for you. Don't worry about it. Then they went in, they lost everything, and they go, well, who cares? It's just Minecraft. I was like, yeah, I could have done that. Thank you. I did care. That's why I didn't go back in until I thought I had a plan. But they did get me out of the death loop, so there was that. It just feels very aqua and pink for a cupcake. Maybe I'm the problem. Like, it just doesn't feel like an appetizing color for frosting to me. Also, I forgot to mention at the random wolf attacks and the growing of my turnip farm. Ooh, turnips are so yummy. I was just trying to find copper so I could finally make a pickaxe. Oh gosh. Yeah. That really sounds painful. So you have to get copper to scale up for your weapons. Hmm. At least they give you a map. That's good. Yeah, you should start with flint and just be a caveman at the very beginning, and you don't have the ability to make a pickaxe yet because flint breaks easily. Oh my gosh. And they're like, ooh, this'll be fun. Everybody will love this. I like a challenge, but I like it to be something that feels doable. Like, I like to feel like I can accomplish it. So the next stage after flint is to find clay. Yeah, the game is not that hard, it's just complicated. Yeah, it makes sense. I'm trying to at least have a top to this cupcake. Clay could be really annoying to find. That took a few streams. Wow. Yeah, you had me interested in the game. You're kind of selling me on not doing it at this point. I hope you know. It's like, ooh, that's interesting. Ooh, yeah. Maybe not. On the other hand, when you have a bigger challenge, it feels so awesome to actually get something done. It really does. Hey, this is just my personal cup of tea. Hey, that's why there's things I like to watch and things I like to do. That's why I tried to make it so that there's a place to recommend things for actually watching me stream and a place to put things that you think people would like in general. Because not everything is as fun to watch stream, but that doesn't mean that it wouldn't be fun to like talk about or people share or like, oh yeah, I did this in my own personal world and blah blah blah. So I wanted to leave that open to that possibility. I don't know. I'm not sure it makes sense when I'm saying it out loud, so cool. Awesome possum pudding pie. And also, the best thing in this game is having the wiki build on the game as a handbook when you press H. See, if I have a game guide, I rather like making my own. Maybe I'm just old school that way. But I'm more likely to sit there, and I just don't think that would be fun for you guys to watch. I have made so many game guides over the years. But I'm not as big on checking the wiki for stuff. Sometimes it depends on the game, I guess. But if the game requires checking the wiki, I have one game I'll do that way, and I'm kind of over it for that very reason. Because you really can't play the game without it. And then it reached a point where you can't play the game with it, and I'm just like, why am I playing this stupid thing? What a waste of my time. I shall replace it in my phone game repertoire. I already pretty much have, to be honest. It's really the wiki is like, okay, here's what to do, and generally if you want to find something that you don't know about because there's too many materials. No, I get it. Like, for example, it can let you know if something's coming too, so that you can be prepared. Oh, I'm going to need feathers and flint and X number of stone. I better go get that now so that when I get to that point, I'm ready and I can keep the game progressing. I mean, I see great value in that. I'm not knocking it. I also feel like I've lost any sense of order in what I'm doing here on this cupcake. So that's cool. Like, okay. It's just so random what I've done. Oh my gosh. But it's starting to look more cupcakey now. If you know how something basically works in real life, you don't really need it. Fair enough. There's this old game I used to do for one of my nephews. I think it was called Alchemy for some reason. And I would make things on it for him. He loved that till he got older and he thought it was really dumb. But he was so impressed when he was younger. I was the coolest aunt in the world. But you would take different elements and you would put them together to make stuff. Like first you have to make water and then fire and dirt, and it progresses and to making things like the abominable snowman, ninjas. Looks like an evil smiley with a bad haircut. Yeah, I'm just feeling like this is the least appetizing looking cupcake I've maybe ever seen. Oh my gosh. I mean, it might be worth it for that alone. You got all those people out there trying Ozempic. They just need to eat one of these cupcakes. Ooh, yum. That was probably rude. Oh well. Things in life worth fighting for are worth working on. Makes sense to me. Seems like a cool game. Are you winning, Wei-chan? Immediately dies to a heart attack. Yeah. How are you doing today, Dwagon? Are you winning? Also, I would just say you can make a really lovely interiors and vintage story. I'm painting stuff in W Place since you can literally chalk out things. I think it looks like y'all are doing some really cool stuff there. I will go look, but like here I'm coloring in someone else's picture. That's not quite the same as my own art. I am not very artistically talented. The coast of Florida, specific Miami, is filled with stuff, so I'm painting somewhere else. Everybody wants a piece of Florida. I hope there's a swamp ape. There better be a swamp ape. You can't have Florida without a swamp ape. The first place I checked out, awful. No endless amount of Deltarune instead. Yeah, I mean, I've looked at those before, and they're super cool, but I don't know how I jump in. I think you just jump in, like you're jumping into a pool, both feet in the deep end, and just hope. And I get self-conscious sometimes. Like, I'm not young and fun like that. I don't know. I want to be, I guess, but I question. Y'all are super sweet with me, but I will look for sure. I promise. Do I can explain how to jump in? Just pick a random place and paint whatever you want. Yeah, but see, that's the problem. I don't do good art. I do like, this is someone else's art. I'm just coloring it in. In fact, I wouldn't mind if I could change it up. The design of this is good, but oh my gosh. Like, I'll show you in a second. This does not look like a very appetizing cupcake. I tell you what, this is not. feel like if they're playing that old show, Miami Vice, they'd be like, this cupcake seems a little bright. All right, let's see here. It is improving as there's more of it. But whoa. Just draw an evil smiley and call it a day. How did I miss that one spot? Here. Okay, we'll go with an evil smiley. I gotta give it vampire teeth. And a wicked-ish nose. I think that looks pretty friendly, actually. I'm not very good at evil. I really don't like his face. It scares me. Yeah. I tried. Here, we'll go with... Maybe if we give it different colors, it'll look spookier. That looks kind of horrible. I'm leaving it for now. I'll come back to it. It's something. My self-portrait is that you. Why, yes, how did you know? Alright, I owe the wagon a duck. Let's see, is this where the duck is? Where did it go? Okay, there we... No, that's the cupcake. I know I was working on a duck. Anyway, since I unsold you vintage toy, I always knew I was sweet as a cupcake. What the heck? Where's my... Oh, there's my duck. I was looking at the bottom. Okay. Alright, here we go. I'm going to finish your duck. Quack, quack. Cute little wings. I just want to say everything is faster multiplayer. Oh my gosh, the word. He wanted a duck. I said, I shall provide you with a duck. He picked this duck, and I promised I would do it. You picked a cupcake. I don't know if you're one to talk. He's kind of cute. Doo, doo, doo. And let's give him like a little... And we'll do his body. Oops, I'll have to redo that spot. Speed running cute little duck. Oops, I missed a spot. Yeah, I'm feeling funny about, you picked that. Oh gosh, I'm messing up his whole face. Well, you picked the cupcake. I'm gonna have to fix all those little spots. It's gonna look weird in the time lapse now, but whatever. Alright, here we go. Cute! It is cute. This is going to take 5 years. I love the little duck dude. Hope stream is going well. Woohoo! Here he's going. He's kissing all of you. Cuteness. He is kind of cuter than I thought he would be. 5 years went by so quick. There you go, dragon. All right. Here you go, Gore. Here's the dock. I'm not sure when's the last time. Very docky, I know. But here's what I'm going to say. Random news. A pet duck in my country was sentenced to house arrest because it attacked a neighbor's dog. That's hilarious. Any other games that I can fail to sell you on? You didn't fail. I'll look at it. It was interesting. All right, Celeste, did you ruin our chances of seeing Venture's story here? I'm intrigued and I will look into it. Here, Gore. I know you've been lurking, but I don't know how much you can see when you lurk. Well read the chat. It was mountains. Or maybe that was Kenny that was in. I'm the master at self-sabotage. You're not doing too bad. Your penny stocks are doing okay. Alright, so here's where I am on the giant, ridiculous pixel art that I think Tomas picked, but maybe it was lost. Let's get in there. It's the only thing of worth I have. Wyvern Ross has returned. So, since for whatever reason I'm trying to complete this out, winter landscape or sunset at the lake? How we feeling, guys? Looks fantastic. Great job. Mega proud, law. I mean, I can do more in here right now. I just... See, I'm trying... That's why I did the color one. So I could just go through and... Shoot. This is as good a way to go about it as any. It's basically winter. You want winter lost? I mean, the low did dip its toe to the 70s the other day. That was nice. I saw this game had an update last night. Any new cool coloring picks? I think they just keep adding new books. I told you guys when they were all on sale, I was willing to buy some. I sent them all out in the Discord and everything, and I got told not to put any money in. It would have literally cost me like 79 cents. I don't know what they cost normal. Probably not that much, though. But I don't see any more here. Maybe in alchemy? Yeah, I gotta go to the store page. This looks new. This is a UFO looking thing. The moon looks new. That's like a cute moon. This looks like a different sunset. This one was like this before. I just saw it. Maybe it paid or something. Maybe. They do slowly switch these out so far as I can tell. But it seems to not be a whole bunch at a time. Yeah. Like I said, I'm open to doing the paid. I sent you guys some choices way back. You'd have to go find it, but the sale's long over. That's my total worth. I don't know about that. I think you're pretty valuable, Lost. You know, Gore, I didn't say it, but I was so tempted when you put that picture in Discord. Okay, then maybe I'm worth a penny. Well, considering what you did with your penny stocks, that's not too bad. You've got what? 200% growth? 90 pennies. Ooh. That share that you're reupholstering, I think in many decades past, just about every house had one of those. Very, very Camelot-y. All right. Winter landscape sunset. Only a penny? um, this one's going to be massive again. 192 by 192. Might as well be working on the cupcake. All the colors are the same. Where's the cupcake? Where'd I put that thing? Some of these are different. That definitely wasn't there before. I guess if I go through slower. We don't use pennies anymore. That adds an extra layer of irony, and I'm here for it. I'm useless, I know. I'm worth like a Zimbabwe dollar. You know, as long as you can market yourself, it's all good. Okay. Yeah, this cupcake doesn't look the yummiest. And after Lost had me put a scary smiley face on it, it's even worse. Oh, it's so cursed. Eat well, Dwagon. Yeah, it could be like the $3 bill. Dinner's ready. I shall vanish. Okay, Dwagon, have a good dinner. I can't leave this like this. This is so cursed. I tried. I thought you were telling Dwagon to eat the cursed cupcake at first, Gore. Because I saw your comment before his. Eat a giant cupcake. 100 follower goal. 100 follower goal would be awesome. What I really want is 75 followers on Kick. That's probably what I want. Let's see. But I like my group here. Which means I need a better computer so I can dual stream. And then Law says, no, just restream. It's no big deal. But every time we crank up this computer, we're never sure if it's the last time. It's pretty bad. Cute. That's it. We're making a cupcake for Trudeau to celebrate his I don't even know what. I can't think of a single appropriate thing to say about him. That's really bad. I'm sure there's something. It's no big deal. Just win the lottery. No biggie. Yeah, you know what would really help me win the lotto? I have a feeling I could maybe if I bought a ticket. That would really help. I should do that someday. I actually do sometimes, like for birthdays and stuff, but yeah. Talk about gambling. I mean, it's getting a little better, but what is this supposed to be, like almonds or something? I mean, it just looks like somebody spit on the cupcake or something. It's really gross. Like they upchucked or something. Ah. I don't think that looks good. The ex-prime minister, huh? Has the heat been tame enough down there? Brutal heat week for heat. I hate it. Like I said, I mean, the temp actually went down a little bit. We had a day with a low down that hit, let's say, it kissed the 70s. I wouldn't say it jumped in, but it was nice. Actually, it felt quite freezing because it's been so warm, and you know, you adjust. But it has been brutal hot during the day, I won't lie. It's been okay, at least for me. It's been raining a lot for like the last few days, but now it's been sunny. We keep having the rain go around, like we'll watch it go around the property. I don't know what the heck. That happens every so often. It's like, well, it's raining. Our neighbors have rain. At least we're getting the cool breeze. We sat there one day, we were fighting about whether it was raining outside in the house. Some of us were saying it was, some of us were saying it wasn't, and then we went and we looked out the windows to prove to each other that it was raining on half the house and not the other half of the house. That's Florida. Rain is the best. I love rain. I'm going to miss the 24/7 rain though. That's true. Rain is the best. I'd take rain and heat over heat and snow. There must be like some blessing on your household. Blessing? Is that a blessing? I don't know. When I was little, we used to follow the rain down the street on our bikes. It doesn't rain like that in other places. It is pretty unique to here. but it's usually not quite that specific. Maybe it depends on how you look at it. Some people call it a blessing. Well, we can call it a blessing. It could be like monk. We could say it's a blessing and a curse. Now, I think it's nice. I mean, you still get the cool. I've been surprised that a few times lately the rain has actually been warm. It felt nice, like a warm shower almost. Usually it's freezing, like we get that hail freezing rain with the hot, and then it's all steamy. The road looks like it's out of some movie. It's just prepping you for the acid rain, totally. The acid rain's late. I mean, they kept promising us the whole world would be destroyed by acid rain in the 80s. I'm gonna say that, and it hasn't. The world is still here. What happened with that, huh? I mean, other than catalytic converters, which actually made quite a huge difference. Whimsical rain wrecks the warm weather any day. The rain and spring falls mainly on the plain. Sorry. Rain and spring falls mainly on the plain. Now that's stuck in my head. Maybe the acid rain was the friends we made along the way. Totally. Totally. No, it was more of an issue. But catalytic converters got invented, and it really changed a lot of things about smog and everything else and how pollution affected things. But it's still funny to go, oh, it never happened. So, but it was happening. You can see where it was like destroying monuments and stuff. That said, I was outside in quite a bit of acid rain, and I never had any ill effects so far. So, yeah. Not sure how acidy it really was. Chocolate rain. Ooh, that would be interesting. Have you ever seen video of places where it rains fish and frogs that are like alive? That's weird. That's trippy. That would freak me out. And they got that foam stuff that happens in Australia every year. That's pretty weird. No, it's Jim. He was destroying the monuments in the middle of the night, bit by bit. I saw the one video about the raining tacos. That was a banger. Oh my gosh. Weather can be weird. Weather can be weird. Alright, I'm going to back up in a second and see if this is starting to look even vaguely yummy. You know how they have those cupcake shops where they care way more about the how decorated it looks than how yummy it is or looks? This is one of those cupcakes. That's what I think. But it is doing better. Right, I think I need to get rid of this face. What color is it here the most? I guess we have a bunch of 4s. That was a banger. I always love looking at my weather app and just seeing it saying poor quality for running every single time. I think the weather apps are a joke. I went on mine one time. I mean, it's always wrong. But it said there was like a 0% chance of rain for the next week. It was literally raining. And I'm like, you think you could adjust? I mean, I get the live telecasters kind of had to kind of stick with what they had on radio and stuff, but come on. Pro was just chilling there like, oh. Yeah, I can even kind of understand, okay, it gets confused about humidity, but come on. Actively raining and you think it's not going to rain for a week? At least think it might rain. I don't know. Perfect time to garden, though. Maybe it's hallucinating, huh? Maybe the rain wasn't real. Maybe. That's an interesting theory. You psychologically made yourself soaking wet after walking outside. That's a very interesting theory. It just you did it yourself. You ran to the coastline and back, and you didn't notice. I fell in the ocean. You're right, or the swamp, or the lake, or whatever's nearby. Like Sonic. Oh my gosh. All right. Oh, I missed those. All right. Well, I've got to get this other in a second anyway. Boop. And then we have a bunch of these. And now it's really going to be cursed. With the rest of that evil smiley face. Dang, it's good weather for golfing. Can't wait to start my golfing career. Just watch out for the lightning, Lost. Just watch out for the lightning and maybe the gators. That's it. you know, there's money in it if you're any good. If the lightning hits me, I'll be smarter. That's what you tell yourself. Yeah, I can't multiply 0. You're right. Dude. Divide by 0 if all else fails. I'll never be ready for the puzzle game tomorrow. Add time. Yep, sorry. Let's see how much of this I can finish before the ad is up. Back. See, it never actually matches. That's really annoying. Like, why does it tell me it's gonna happen and then it doesn't match? That's why I appreciate when you guys tell me. I mean, that said, my ads are on the absolute minimum it permits. I mean, this just, I mean, if I'm gonna decorate a cupcake, I could see doing bright colors or pastel-y colors or even colors that kind of match what you're doing. Maybe at an event. This seems a very dull event. Like one of those weddings where the bride wants super weird colors. Because it's what she's dreamed of since she was a baby. Ah! Clicking on things I shouldn't be. All right. So Gore, I put a place for can pictures. I learned that Subaru is more than a car company. Yep, they are. I'm afraid of what you learned, though, because you tend to look in very interesting places online. Also love that your can collection consists of the ocean. Always aim big. limit those 8s. Boy, I am just really being clumsy with this. I really don't like sprinkles. Wow. All right, Lost. So what'd you learn? That's getting better. I guess it's not completely evil, just mostly evil. Whew. That they do charity work for the tax write-off. I'm going to be really honest. Since they started making you qualify any charity work you did as a company with tax write-offs and stuff, why would they not clarify it that way? They can actually get penalized if they don't do something that quote-unquote qualifies. I'm also not sure that incentive matters. I guess I'd want to see what they were actually doing. Because a lot of the tax write-off places are also pyramid schemes. Those I'm not so big into. Gonna be honest. Alright, let's see here. Not the worst way to avoid taxes, no. I mean, here's the thing. I don't like when companies do things like kind of force you to do their charity. If you buy our company, we'll support blah, blah, blah. And so we justify charging you 4 times as much. Okay, but if I care about blah, 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 I'll just pay for that myself. I don't need to pay you extra to do it for me. No, they're just charging you. Exactly. That's how I feel about it. It's a scam, I tell ya. Everything for profit, you see. I don't have as much problem with that as you might think. I think companies that work for profit tend to work harder and waste my money less, to be honest. And if they're really in it for the long run, they have an incentive to do a good job. It doesn't mean it'll work out that way. But if they want more of my money in the future, they've got to do a better job now. So they have incentive to do better. I mean, like, okay, let's take a coffee shop. A mom and pop coffee shop. If they're not interested in making a profit, they can make really crappy coffee. They can charge a lot or a little, but people will go if they're just really wanting something, but otherwise they're not going to grow the same way. If they want to grow, they're going to provide me with a far better product and give me a better price. And they'll make a profit. It's not inherently evil. Twirls my Monopoly Man mustache. You are still like 100 other people who would still buy in. All I'm saying is there's profit and then there's greed. And greed tends to not be profitable over time. And I think they get confused. But if you're a good business person, you want that long-term money. It's the people who want to get that money and get out that are more trouble. Ooh, okay, that's getting better. It's getting better. There might be hope. It just depends if they crush the competition or fund the competition, because if they do, it doesn't matter. They have monopoly. Well, there you go. But monopoly isn't strictly speaking about profit. That's about greed. And that's why I specified a difference. To assume that everybody that wants to make a profit is doing it from a point of greed, short-term greed, is just, it's just not true. But to assume that nobody's doing it for greed is also not true. Obviously, a lot of people go after it for greed. But wanting to do well, wanting to take pride in what you put out there, wanting to make money for your family and still benefit the world, you can't do it without a profit. So I've known lots of family businesses that stayed true to themselves and cared about making a profit and cared about producing a really nice product. That's not like McDonald's putting everybody else out of business to keep there from being competition, which obviously they haven't done, or they wouldn't have so much competition, but you know what I'm saying. Mega corporation. Even my speech to text is getting crappier. In terms of quality control, you have seen everything. Everything is getting crappier. Oh, heck yeah. I agree. All right. So we're getting into the actual cupcake here, I think. Maybe like a pink layer and then dripping down into the... I would agree. Honestly, when anything becomes public instead of private, it just goes to crap. I would completely agree. I do not support public companies as much for that reason. Referring to, public assets as the stock market, not as government. It depends on the government on that front. Though I don't trust the government either, but that's okay. You're young. You'll learn the hard way. Everybody does. But, yeah. I don't think government is inherently evil, just like I don't think businesses are inherently evil. But once they hit the stock market, I would completely agree. They have to make profits in terms of quarters, not years. And it definitely affects the quality of what comes out over time. Maintenance never occurs. The kind of maintenance where you just sit back, look at things, make sure the foundation's strong and good. It's always got to show more money for the next quarter. Or they have to be big enough to take the hit of not showing profits for a quarter. Okay, the pink icing is looking a little better. Very drippy though. What is with pixel arts and drippy? It's a little weird. Ah! I'm just determined to mess that up, apparently. There we go. As an important person in the stock market, do they have a list to my opinion? All right. I do actually vote into these things, so you know actually it's better for them to be public. Cough, cough. Listen to my opinion. I'm in these meetings. I'm very important, totally. Ah, and your grandfather or your father owns Nintendo, right? Very cool. No. No? Look, I'm not saying that there's not value in having feedback in public trading. I'm just saying when it's all very short-sighted, it affects the results, the long-term results. It's funny because if you have one share, you could actually vote in something. So like, and do I want to give the CEO more money? No, the board wants me to do this, but no, it doesn't count for much. But I think it's funny. It has value. And a good company will pay attention to those small votes, even if they aren't the majority. Because that still shows them what your person on the street feels like about what's going on. And that does have value for long-term profit if they're smart. There we go. That's looking a little better. Hmm. A good company does not get stuck into private. Hmm. I don't think being publicly traded automatically makes a company good. There's some very good companies that are not. And they have some freedoms that other companies don't have. That said, there is a security in being a publicly traded company. For sure. No, I meant like those companies that basically buy up companies and sell them like a garage sale. Like, okay, let's just cut. Yeah. Buying it, improving it, and passing it on, like flipping is one thing. But when they just take it and they cut it up, like, okay, I'm in the country. There is, in the state of Florida, if you have over 10 acres, you have protections under the state constitution. And there are things you cannot ever be forced to do with your land because it's an agricultural state, and it gives you protections that otherwise don't exist. That makes these properties that are over 10 acres worth quite a bit, and they're hard to get because those owners are less likely to want to give them up. But you'll have these investors from up north or something who come in, see the price, they will spend it, and then they'll cut it up, sell it as a neighborhood or something. Nobody buys the neighborhood houses. They make it a loss, and then they sell it as a loss or some kind of, legal proceeding, and they don't care. Or the next people that pick it up from them end up at a loss because the value is falsely inflated for the land because it's no longer that over 10 acres, if that makes sense. So that's the same idea as the cutting up the company like you're talking about. It only makes profit for that first person, and everybody else after suffers and cannot make money. But there's always somebody that thinks they can. But there's towns where you can never find a property that's over 9.999 for that reason, because the township didn't want the owners to have those benefits. So never buy one of those properties. It's a bad sign. Yeah, that is what happens to a lot of companies. Yep. People will be like, oh, it's basically, that's a lot of acres. That's great. That's great value. Blah, blah, blah. It's great value because you think you're getting one thing and you're not. The state will not recognize it until you cross that 10-acre point. Alrighty. Maybe I finished the whole cupcake in one session? This is going faster than I would have thought. There we go. Maybe it's because we're talking politics. Time does go by fast when we talk about is it politics? I don't think it's politics, but okay. It's money. I'm not going to say money has nothing to do with politics, but it shouldn't be a political discussion. How you spend your money and how you invest your money is not politics. Although I guess it should be relevant when you vote. It does matter to me at that point. I'm not going to lie. Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I said companies control a lot of things. It's part of politics, regulations, part politics. It's always been part of politics. Okay, I can follow you there. Like, I don't think I'm telling anybody how to vote or how to feel about. Yeah, I don't know. That's not what I do. Although I do think I can pretty safely say that I think Gore might be pro Alberta independence. But beyond that, I don't know. And I could be wrong. He could come in and correct me. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of pink over here. Verda! Holy smokes, I was listening to you and I fell asleep for a bit. Gotta go to bed. I'm so tired. I hope you guys have a fantastic night. Anyway, you know politics is just about policy, you know. Okay, Gore, I'm going to tell you something before you disappear. Disappear. You know, I was busy when Dragon was messaging me. I was very busy. And then you had us all in stitches. Do you know what I was doing? Our whole family was watching the Etho video drop. And then you start sending us Canada stuff. We were laughing so hard. Anyways, I've had a time machine. I can't wait to see Al Gore as president. Oh, please no. Yeah, that's something. Having been here for that election, you know what people on both sides were saying? I will go here. Of course you guys were. I might watch that while I lay down. I want to see if he's working on the outside. Oh, spoilies. It's so good. It's so good. You're going to love it. It's worth it. Okay, for real. Good night. Y'all are a fun time. You have a good night, Gore. Yeah, the biggest comment that people had was if you're going to go hunting for votes, don't go hunting for them in the places where people have already cheated on your behalf. And that was the basic consensus. Like, go looking for them where they might not be. But when your own people are going, don't look here, and then he lost votes in all those places, it's like, dude. Oh my gosh. Look for them in other places. They might have been able to find them for you. Ah. Good night, Gore. And I'm just saying that was everybody in Florida at the time, not people who voted for and people who voted against. That wasn't in general. That was just like yeah. Always listen to your own people when they're saying, don't look here too closely. You need to not look too closely here. There was a lot of actual rigging looking back on it. Oh, there was. Absolutely. I'll be honest, I was really proud because I thought they'd find way worse. We had been such a crooked state for voting practices, and a lot of cleanup had happened, and I was amazed at how well it went, to be honest. I felt a lot better about voting in this state after, I'm not going to lie. Lots of my friends and I were shocked in a good way. I mean, I know that probably sounds weird, but seeing things put under such an inspection and the numbers came out so close, even with all that attention, it made us feel better about our votes. gave us faith again. I mean, the national media tried to make it a big circus. But a lot of that was just drama. I mean, when you looked at the actual numbers, the numbers did not change significantly at any point. They're anyway. I always knew you were the number one Bush fan. Oh my gosh, really? Wow. Don't know that I would put that on me, but thank you so much. That's charming, I'm sure. No, I'm serious. I mean, I had friends who voted Gore and friends who voted Bush, and they all were shocked that the close examination did not yield quite a lot more mistakes. Even just honest mistakes, not necessarily rigging. And yeah, I mean, in general, a lot of people felt better about the elections after that examination. Now, on the national stage, they're like, oh, Florida, blah, 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 blah. But from the inside, that wasn't as big. The daily news stuff, yeah. The news made it a circus for sure. It did not endear some of the news stations to us, that's for sure. I don't know, I'm liberal. You could be liberal. It's not about liberal or conservative or Democrat or Republican. What I'm talking about is when it was under that kind of scrutiny, we were just all expecting much more disastrous results. And we were pleasantly surprised in general. People in my age range. Because the news had us thinking that there's no point in voting. Your vote doesn't count. It's not going to be counted properly anyway. And then we found out, for the most part, the votes were actually counted. And over and over and over again, they were coming out with similar numbers. So that's not about liberal or conservative. That's about the integrity of the election process. And there are a lot of people that decided to start voting as a result of it because they decided maybe their votes might count. I got it, though. I do feel bad for anyone who voted for the Green Party. Oh my gosh. No, I'm just referring to call you a Bush fan. I got it. I got it. Well, it's the thing where people are afraid to look at elections, but when we've done it in the past, I mean, as long as everything comes out pretty much matching the original concept, and if it doesn't, that's an opportunity to fix stuff. I don't know. They used to teach us you should never be afraid to look at that stuff because that's how you keep it in check. And then they're like, oh no, you should never look at that. You should always look at that stuff. You should never be afraid to look at it. And now it's like, oh no, it's the end of the world if you look at it. I don't know what to think anymore. There we go. I'm just trying to do this quicker because it's so close to done. I just want to finish this cupcake. I'm like, I can do this. I can do this. I'm not even sure how the Green Party became a thing exactly. Ask that to every single third party. Well, the problem is third parties, you got to be so careful about them. I'm not against third parties at all. I'm actually rather for the concept of a strong third party sometimes. I don't know how to make it truly fair because what I wouldn't want is to end up without a majority voting for the end product. But I also think having more choices is good. Maybe we need like a runoff thing or something. I don't know how that works, but the problem with the third parties in the US is they tend to still secretly be with a given party. So they're sometimes more openly. They're trying to draw votes away from a main party more than they're trying to actually run a strong campaign. And I don't know. Sometimes they're super sincere, though. I mean, I have seen that as well. Unfortunately, you don't know until after who's who. You have to guess during. Ooh, okay, that is helping for sure. Still, yeah, not quite my cup of tea. Ask that to every single third party. I got it though. I do feel. I always preferred coalitions or at very least low rank choice. Well, there's options where, okay, for example, um, in some states, you will have the election, and then if there's more than two candidates, they will take the two candidates with the highest amount of votes, and then they have them do a runoff so that you cannot end up with someone who doesn't have 50 plus 1%. I think that I would have no trouble with. What I would have an issue with is a situation where you could be like, they talked about Trudeau getting the majority, but I think he never had a strong case because what he really had was less than 9% of the vote. He just had more of the vote than anybody else. And there were that many parties. And I think if you only have 9% of the vote, it's going to be really hard to make people really happy and feel represented. But like if you could pick versus, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm explaining well because it's not about who you vote for as much as the process that I'm talking about. That I would like to still know that maybe majority is the wrong word, plurality, but less than 10%. That just seems yikes. Or at least very least rank choice voting. Do people really feel represented now? That's the question. Well, honestly, some people feel represented and some people don't. But I think that's as much about a misunderstanding of how our system works. And if you want to change a system, you got to understand the system. Or how do you know how to change it for the better? And that would be a failure of our schools, as far as I'm concerned. We used to be taught a lot more about how it works and what different purposes are. So if you want to change how it works, you got to know how it works now. And that way you know what is working and what's not working if you want to make people feel more represented. But I think people would feel more represented if they understood how that representation worked better. And it makes me sad that more people, it's one thing to be like, oh, I want it to be different so I feel better about it. But great, but what do you want different? How, you have to understand it in order to know what you want to be different, if that makes sense. Like, I know a lot of people that feel a lot more represented in my area. I know other people that absolutely don't feel represented right now, and that's sad.
Oh, poor, she uses to go potty. Even though she's in pain, every time I touch her belly because she's so full.
That's because I scared her so bad in there. Maybe ask your brother to move a litter box out of there. It's because I opened the door literally on her and she flipped out. She thought a monster was eating her in the litter box. And I don't want her going later, like in your room. That's the question, because most people are tactically voting. I got that most people don't really understand or care too much. Well, I'm just saying, how do you, nothing is going to make somebody, even if they get what they think they wanted, feel represented if they don't understand what they voted for or how or why. It's, the grass is always going to be greener somewhere else. They're always going to see a better ideal that could be this or could be that, because no system that's human can be perfect. But if you want to improve it, you got to understand what's happening or how or why, so that you know what you want to be better. I mean, find a place where it's working better. Find a place where you think it's statistically wrong or whatever, and then you can work on that. But you got to know, you got to have a purpose with it, and it'll make a big difference. Well, there you go. I did the whole cupcake in one stream. I would just say that it's how it is now. Same thing, just less choice to it. I got that most people don't really understand or care too much. I think it varies, and I think age groups care in different ways too. There you go. I think there are ages where people tend to be more idealistic and where people tend to be more realistic. And that affects things too. But there's a whole lot involved. That's why I don't really generally do politics as a rule on the channel. But a nice general conversation. I mean, I don't object to conceptual, but I do not think I am the person anybody should go to for advice on that stuff. Also, what kind of leads to stagnation? Have you seen the retirement home of politics? Oh my gosh. If you have to be wheeled in and have somebody move your hand to help you vote, you have no business voting in Congress or the Senate. I will go down on that one. The Senate, the Congress, national, state, you name it. If you cannot clearly represent your people with your own body and mind, you have no business being there. I will make that firm statement. Anyway, we got ourselves a cupcake. It looks a little better like that. Maybe it's supposed to be nuts and sprinkles or those almonds. I don't know. I'm so confused. This is clearly the cake bit and icing. And I guess that's the little wrapper. I can see that now. Yay! The funny thing, some states do actually allow ranked choice voting. Yes. Yep. Like I said, you have to sit down and look at results and how it's working and what is and isn't working in a given area to make a change that's better than what is happening. You have to evaluate what's currently happening in a given area and where it has been tried, where it hasn't been, and it's just super complicated. But alrighty, I think that's a new one too. I've only seen it the last few times. Alrighty. I think I'm ready for bed, Lost. All right. Yeah. It's nice having a lovely, deep conversation with you. I don't know. Yeah. I'm sorry. I think I'm literally falling asleep while I'm looking at the screen. I definitely need. It was nice, I guess. Okay. Wow. My goodness. I'll tell you what I like. I like that you care enough to be looking into options and what you do want and what you don't want, and you want to better yourself and better where you live and how you live. That's what politics ultimately comes to. I rarely get to talk about my politics, so well, I actually love talking about politics IRL, but the reality is, personally, if I go to a channel that I go to for video game stuff, it's a big turnoff to me if they start going on about something political, and I usually won't watch them anymore because I'm going there for entertainment. The places I go for political stuff, I go for political stuff. And I don't want to do that to other people. Democracy is the battle of ideas. It's good to talk about it. It's always good to talk about it. I think that is essential. Um, I am a big believer in you get all that laundry out in the open in the sunshine and you have a real conversation. And nothing can happen if people aren't talking to each other. And I think that's super important. I just don't think that random VTuber lady on the internet um, who plays video games in the evenings when she's tired between taking care of her kids and taking care of her farm and stuff is the go-to place. But I'm honored to have a conversation with you about it, Lost. You have a wonderful evening, and I hope you rest well. And keep searching for answers. I think that's super important. Hey. What do you mean you're the most perfect person to talk to politics to? I'm not going to do it to Hesh. Thanks, Lost. That's.
Anyway.
I'm going to sleep before I get myself in trouble. Goodbye.